nothing else get our attention right here on Nigeria Super Forum, like the two-legged clash between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Black Stars of Ghana for the Qatar 2022 World Cup. Remember, just one ticket. And remember that the first leg of that clash will be taking place at the Cape Coast Sports Stadium in Ghana. Let's have you what we have on the menu for you today. We'll be looking at the plight of some Super Eagles players at their respective clubs, particularly in the defense. We'll be looking at the case of our Super Eagles assistant captain, talking about William Trostekong, and also Chigozie Awaziem. They've not been having the best of times at their clubs right there in Europe. And of course, also a former Super Eagles captain is raising an alarm. What kind of alarm? It's talking about what will be the future or the fate of Coach Augustine Guavoin after the games against the Black Stars of Ghana. What is Nigeria going to do in case or perhaps the Super Eagles fail to go to Qatar? So that is what we'll be looking at on the show today. My name is Oluwafemi Ashalu, and as always, I have Kade Ogundare in the studio. But before we get into discussion, let's quickly go on this break. We'll be back. Please stay with us. Yeah, welcome back, and it's still Nigeria Super Fans Forum. Kayode, good to see you again.
It's always a pleasure.
Okay, today we'll be looking at, as we continue to turn our attention to the two-legged clash between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Black Stars of Ghana. It's not that far away now, or far off now. Let's look at the case of William Trostekong, Chigozie Awaziem, and Olaino. The defense line has always been a major source of worry for us, and they are like first-team players. But since the end of AFCON, they've not played any game for their respective clubs. Should that be some sort of concern for Nigeria and for Guavoin in particular?
Oh, sure, of course, it has to be. For many games now, Trostekong has been our standing captain whenever Musa is not available. So if your captain is not playing regularly at club level, then you have to be concerned. Olaino is one of the brightest prospects out of Nigeria in recent years. If he's not getting to play for Fulham, it is a cause for worry. Chigozie Awaziem as well, if he is also not playing, it is a source of worry. Any player that is not playing, it's a source of worry for the coach and for the national and for the nation. But there will be mitigating circumstances in two ways. Reasons why they are not playing, then we have adequate covers for each of them.
What do you think would be the reason why they're not playing? Perhaps there are players better than them in the team.
No. We saw them at the AFCON. They didn't do too badly at the AFCON. So it's possible they lost their place, their spots in their teams because there were other replacements for them who have not been doing badly since they came back. And like they say in coaching, you do not change winning teams. So the coaches, their managers might feel, you know what, when these players were not around, these other guys stepped in and they've been doing well. So let me just keep them for as long as I can before I bring in these other players. If there's a need, and no player will, because the only need why you will need to rush them back is if there is a crisis. And no manager will pray for a crisis. So if the players are doing, they replaced them when they went to the AFCON are doing well, then that would be the reason, not because they've lost one or because they've suddenly become bad players. No. The other aspect, the other mitigating factor, like I said, is do we have adequate
cover for them?
Yeah, do we?
That's a question that Guavoin may have to answer.
Yeah, I think we do. As much as
for Ekong.
For Ekong.
And for Chigozie.
Exactly. If we are
Balogun has been off and
if we are broad-minded enough, there is Kenneth Omero there, and there is a certain Kevin Akpoguma who I believe we have
not even in the squad.
That's what I'm saying. No, there's no squad as we speak.
Okay, in the squad that is known to Guavoin.
No, you are talking about the AFCON team.
Yeah.
No, as far as we are concerned, this is a clean slate. Fine, most of the players from the AFCON team.
But you and I know that Guavoin will still want to stick with the team.
Most of them, but if there's a need to cast his nets wider, he would. He would. So for me, I believe one of the most deserving gestures of Genotro's reign was that he failed to play Kevin Akpoguma where he should have played. So for me, I think it's time we bring him back into the fold, play him in a central defensive position, and get the best out of him.
Okay, I'm still talking about I'm particularly worried for him. Perhaps we can say maybe the change of manager at Watford could be the reason, because he got a reasonable amount of playing time. It was even a regular for Watford under Claudio Ranieri before Roy Hodgson came into play. But do you think that could be the circumstance for him, that the change of manager at the club affected in being selected for matches?
It's possible, but that couldn't be the only factor, because even under Ranieri, he had some very, very unspectacular games. There were a lot of times that he was severely criticized for his performances. So it's not as if he was like the darling of Ranieri too. So, but I think that could be a factor, but like I said, not the only factor. There will be a lot of factors responsible for why he's not playing. The most important of which is that he doesn't have the manager's confidence at the moment. That's the most important factor. No matter how injury-free, how brilliant you think you are, you must have the confidence of the manager in your abilities. If you don't have it, then you're not playing. That I think is what has happened to him. Okay.
We just have a few weeks to that game now, Kyle. The first leg in Ghana. Let's look at the implication of what is currently happening regarding the form of these players. You and I know, Kyle, that these are at least two of the three players will be in the starting lineup for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Particularly, should be. Okay, I shouldn't say will be, should be. But normally, if Musa is not playing, like you said, Ekong will have to be on the captain. But he hasn't even played a game for Watford. Now, let's look at the implication. He went to AFCON, he didn't even play a game. He was injured.
Before
that
yes.
Even at his club.
Yes.
He came to AFCON, still injured, went back, hasn't played a game. Olaino, same thing. Balogun has been in and out of the Rangers team because of injury.
Yes.
He's back. Now, let's look at the implication on the form of these players as we prepare for that game, because the Ghanaians are very serious. As a matter of fact, they've described the game against Super Eagles as a derby.
Of course it is.
It is a derby. As a World Cup qualifier, they are looking at a game between Out of Soka and Atoko. Let's look at the implication on the form of these players. Remembering that the defense has been a source of worry for us for a number of times.
See, Femi, one thing that you should understand is without attempting to brag, the Super Eagles are one of the most difficult teams to score against. Cast your mind back. When was the last time we lost a game with more than two goals? No. Think about it. I'm not saying we do not lose games, but you hardly see Nigeria lose. It's very rare to see them lose by 2, 3, 4 goals. The last time I think was when they had that misnomer of a game against Sierra Leone. Came from Togo. But I know that that's just a fluke.
But a goal that we saw at AFCON, a goal can just do the damage on you.
You don't understand what
I understand. The defense hasn't been as bad as we are trying to portray.
Exactly. We have not been that bad in defense, although you have to expect a certain minimum standard of perfection from your team whenever they file out. But like I said, they've not been too bad. Having said that, there is big cause to worry. Because like you said, when you're playing against a team that sees you as, like you said, they see this as a derby, and we know how derbies are. One, then two, you are playing against a team that will throw the kitchen sink at you, will come at you with everything, and they will keep attack, especially in the first leg, because the first leg is key. The result of the first leg might actually affect the outcome of the game of the two-leg fixture. So when you are playing against such a team, you have to be extra careful. You have to go with your best team. But do we have replacements for them? I think we do.
So Kade believes that Ugavoin has a replacement for Ekong, for Olaina, also for Chigozie Awazenboy. I think otherwise, because these are regulars for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Let's quickly go on this break. We'll be back to talk about, like I said earlier, an alarm that is being raised by a former Super Eagles player concerning what will be the fate of Augustine Ugavoin after the two-legged clash against the Black Stars. We'll be back. Welcome back. It's still Nigeria Super Fans Forum. Kayode Mutiu Adepoju, former Super Eagles captain, is talking about at an event recently, he reacted to what is now looking like a trend in African football, where countries are now looking inward, bringing in ex-internationals to manage the national team. Earlier this week, we heard that the Fecafoot in Cameroon, they've appointed Rigobert Song as the coach. Now, Cisse with Senegal, Otto Addo with Ghana, Super Eagles. Yeah, we have Augustin Guavoin and Namaneke at the M of Affairs. But let's look at it. Mutiri is saying that we do not have that plan. We do not have that long-term vision, to give this local coaches time. We are used to using them as stopgaps. When things go wrong, come and fix it. Then after then you kick them aside and you bring in whoever you want. What do you think the NFF should do? Let's assume, God forbid, that the game against Ghana do not go as we plan. What do you think the NFF should do? Should we allow Guavoin to continue? Because this is actually key. Cisse has been in charge of Senegal, Teranga Lions, since 2015. And in 2022, he won his first major trophy. That's about 7 years.
Yeah. Exactly.
Can we be that patient for long?
We should be that patient. But see, Mutiu Adepoju is somebody who knows what he's talking about. He's been there, he's done all of that. He's been player, he's been manager, administrator. He has coaching badges too. He has coaching badges at the highest level, UEFA Pro B. So for me, he knows what he's talking about. And I think it is time. On this program, some few weeks back, I said Senegal has shown the rest of Africa the way to go. We should learn to trust the process. We should learn to trust our own. We should also do something. The ex-internationals, I'm talking about Nigerian ex-internationals now, should not think being ex-internationals alone is a license to become coaches automatically. No, they should go out, improve themselves, learn on the job. Then by the time we come back, we practically go and beg them. Guavoin has shown that he can do this. Amunike has shown with what he has done all over Africa, in Egypt and in Sudan, and Tanzania, and even in Sudan with the clubs that he coached there, that he is capable of doing it. And like I told you, I think off camera one day, I said, I knew Amunike was one coach with a lot of potential when he coached Julius Berger. Many people did not know this. He coached Julius Berger, I think, in 2008, 2009. And in the few months that he coached the team, you could see the difference. You could see the effect of coaching on that team. So since then, I knew this was somebody who was set aside for a coaching career. So we should learn to trust the process, learn to trust our own. Like Mutiu said, and I absolutely agree with him, we use these guys as stopgaps, pending when we are able to get the foreign manager of our desire. Okay, a certain Genotro was in charge for like 5 years plus. He lost games, he won some. But are you sure that if he had been in Nigeria, he would have stayed that long? That's why I said, and I said this last week, but it bears repeating now, that no matter, regardless of the outcome of the playoff against Ghana, we should keep these guys in charge of the Super Eagles. I am not sure how we want to do it. Is either we want to leave Amuneke in sole charge or Guavoin in sole charge, or we want the two of them to continue. But I think we should learn to trust our own. One. Then two, we should have a development plan. Yeah. The short-term plans, the mid-term plans, and the long-term plans. Where do we see ourselves? Where are we now in terms of our football development? Where do we think we are going? How do we intend to get there? Those are the three critical questions that we should be asking as a nation if we are serious about this. As a matter of fact, as a continent too, African countries should also ask themselves this question in their individual federations: that where are we? Where are we going? How do we intend to get there? That's the roadmap to get to wherever you are going. Senegal, they actually showed that. Yes, I used two countries advisedly to illustrate this point. In 1998, when Spain failed at the France World Cup, France 98 World Cup, they went back, they sat down and asked themselves, what exactly do we want to do? Where do we want to go? How do we want to get there? Nigeria drove them to that. Yes, that is the result of that introspection. Was what we saw over a period of time that Spain dominated
international football.
The same thing happened with Belgium. Belgium is one of the highest ranked teams in the world today, not by happenstance, not by Ojoro. They actually sat down and decided, you know why this is where we are going to. This is where we are. How do we get there? You cannot avoid those three critical questions. If you do not ask them, those questions will come back to haunt you.
Always impatient. Quickly, let me read a quote from Mutiu. He said, if we have that projection of where we want to be in the next few years, and all that, with vision, we can work towards that. But the only thing is we have not been having that. We always want to change at every moment and at every given time. So we don't have patience for such. I believe it's a good thing.
You know why we do that? Because we have a wrong indices for measuring success. We think we are successful only when we win trophies. No, yeah. It's not. Let me give you another example. Look at Argentina. Argentina, they won the Under-20 World Cup, I think, like 5 times. Yeah. They've never won the Under-17 World Cup. Nigeria, in the other hand,
we've won Under-17 World Cup more than any other
country. But we have never won the Under-20. Meanwhile, these are supposed to be progressions. You progress from the Under-17 to Under-20, and you get better until you get to the national team. So that's how to measure. You just use the Under-17, Under-20 as developmental tournaments, not the be-all and end-all. But that's what we do in Nigeria. We think once we win the Under-17, we have arrived. No, sir, we have not. In fact, FIFA will not reckon with that Under-17 wins when they are ranking teams. They do not. Yeah, they do not. So we have to change our metrics for measuring success. Success is not measured by how many Under-17 tournaments you win. In fact, not by how many Under-20s or even the Senior World Cups you win. It is by how many players come through. How many players come through the standard of your league, the standard of the quality of players. Look at the Belgium team. Look at how many players they have all over Europe in big teams.
The quality
of players they have, and all those players are of the same age. That shows you that there's a deliberate policy. There's a plan on ground that is bringing those players through. Between 2013 and 2019, Nigeria have had some of the brightest young players. Because of winning the Under-17, how are we mature? Those players should be mature now. They should be by 25, 26 years old now. By now, we should be a force to reckon with in the world, but we are still struggling in Africa. That tells you that our priorities are wrong. That tells you that we have to change focus. We have to begin to look for other indices to measure success. When you put pressure on a coach, you give him the Under-17 job and you ask him to go and win. So he begins to cut corners because he wants to win, because he knows that it's only when he wins that you see him as a success. That's exactly. That's where we are wrong. So we have to start measuring where we are now, where we want to get to, and how we want to get there. Anything other than that, Femi, is a recipe for disaster.
Okay, as we round up the show, Kayode, Muti also said something. He said it is about who is in charge. Now, presently, we heard that the Super Falcons coach, Randy Wardrum, is even without a contract.
Yes. It shows you the dysfunctionality I'm talking about. How do you give a person? And I heard the guy for like 5.
If it's for a local coach,
no, I do not agree. Do not shortchange these guys because they are
what I'm saying is, if it were an indigenous coach, we would say, okay, he's been taking advantage of being a local coach.
And it doesn't make it right.
Yeah.
It
doesn't. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I am forgiving every coach.
Believe that forget that way.
Forget wherever they come from and for treating everyone equal. Treat them equal. Give them a good contract. If you are able to pay Genotro $50,000, for example, why would you be giving Guavon 5 million naira a month? It doesn't make sense. Give Guavon the same amount you are giving Genotro and expect the same things you expect from Genotro.
That is racism or discrimination?
I don't know. You have to ask. Give him the same pay and expect the same results from him. If he doesn't, then you can kick him out justifiably. If you don't do that, we cannot continue this way. It's as simple as that.
I don't know what to do to pacify Kayode. He's obviously angry.
Well, I'm very, very angry.
You're angry.
Very, very angry.
For me, I think what is a source of worry to me is the form of our defenders. Remember that that particular department in our game has been a source of worry. And defense, so the goalkeeping department, the midfield and the front line has been a source of strength. But the defense line and these guys have not been playing. They've not played since January, and this is March already. So I think for Augustine Guavon, it might cause him some sleepless nights. For you, what do you think? How much of a worry is it also to you? Please let us know in the comment section. And also remember to follow us our YouTube channel. Kayode, once again, thank you for coming.
It's always a pleasure.
But please calm down, okay?
I'm calm.
Until we come your way next time. Bye for now.